G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the Sailing Podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the microphone with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
BP.
Hello, world.
Hello, world, indeed.
Hello, world. Well, it's official.
Yeah, go on.
Floats. It floats.
It floats.
It floats, and we put those big flappy things and it goes forward.
It's an exciting time. Let's bring in Bicey so we can have a real discussion. Hang on.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Without stealing anything from BP, good to be back, gents. My apologies for last week, but after checking the Google Analytics, I definitely need to be back. You blokes need to lift your game. There's no doubt about that. Now,
Don't disagree with you.
BP,
Yeah.
on to you, my friend. Big day yesterday. You got the X2 launched. Must be a pretty proud feeling.
Oh, well, it was everyone that's been involved along the whole journey. It's a proud feeling. So it's not just all about me, but the boat did everything we wanted to do, and everyone that's put pen to paper and got some measurements in place, et cetera, has nailed it. I mean, even yesterday, we had Albie down from Norths and everything just went up and it was bang on. So we're stoked.
Cool.
So,
and did you shed a tear after laying, I believe the story, coming back from Hobart on the Loyal, as it was called at the time, and you just had this brainwave to go into the fray of double-handed sailing, and here you are at the end of it all.
There's no question it was 2 years of serious work, and what with COVID and all the other interruptions along the way, but that's that's here nor there. It's now that we're living in the now, and we've now got this project up and running where it's gained massive global attention. Did I shed a tear? No, I collapsed next to the esky and had a couple of beers on the dock with the boys and girls. They came down. It was a quiet one. It wasn't the full public launch at this stage, which we're going to do again next week sometime.
What champagne did you use?
No, it's just a little bit of Heineken actually in this one. Yeah. But they're all going to be there. No, they're all going to be there for the proper one in the next couple of weeks. But it was a proud moment. No, we're pretty stoked.
Yep, congratulations, mate. It's
Cheers, lads.
Well done.
yeah, everyone's happy for you, bud. Cool, very cool.
All right, enough about me. Let's move on.
Okay, well, we're fired up this week. Obviously, we, as kids, we all grew up reading about the Worrell 1000, which is where a bunch of lunatic cat sailors go and race around Florida and try and get arrested. And it sort of died from about 2003. It sort of just disappeared off the map and we thought it was dead. But it came back in 2018. It didn't have an auspicious result because Aussies won. The Americans had to suffer through their new race being reinstituted and the Aussies are back on top. And it's got killed again by COVID. But now things are happening and the Worrell 1000 is back and it's just over a week away and we're fired up. We grew up looking at this thing and we're interested. So we thought we'd reach out to one of the teams and just get the background and get it all up to date so we know what's going on so we can focus in on this race and enjoy it by watching in on the race. So we know what we need to know and we're all experts on it. So we thought we could reach out to a whole bunch of teams, but the simplest team is Team Oz. So we've reached out to Team Australia. We've got Rod Waterhouse, Chris Way and Brett White on the line to talk to us about sailing. How are you, boys? Okay.
Just paint a picture for us, boys. We're 10 days away from the race.
That's where we're going.
That's a good picture.
So for the listener, we're looking at the back of one of the shirts on Chris. And then
we won't blow it up.
Is that the official chart you're going to have on the boat, Chris? Is that how you're going to do the race?
He's just going to get undressed while he does it. Yeah.
So starting at the bottom of the panhandle, going up.
Starts in Miami and finishes up there in Virginia Beach.
Right.
Wow.
Okay. So
At least
basically,
you don't have to have a chart plotter. You can just use that.
yeah. So basically, Salen.
That's if the dementia doesn't set in, you know.
All right, so for the listeners, starting at the bottom of the Panhandle, heading up the East Coast, and finishing up in Virginia Beach, downwinder by the looks of it. So following the prevailing breezes.
Could be, yeah. Typically, we start off with following winds, and depending on the track, most years the top third ends up on the nose. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right, we need to track that. Right, I guess we'll start with you, mate, because you've actually been here quite a bit. Brett, you were here with them last time, but you've actually won this event a few times from memory. I think I wrote it down somewhere, 3 times. One first in 1981. So let's be honest, you're old.
But we're all over 60.
You're all over 60. There we go.
Yeah, we are.
No stopping good sailors. That's the rule. By the way, listeners, the boys have got some Mexican beers going, and we're not sure how this is going to play out. So what's the attraction to this event?
It's a challenging event. It's a challenge, and every year's completely different. It's got a high attrition rate, so it's a lot of. It's not a speed. It's a speed race. The navigation is extremely challenging. The fitness is difficult to get the right level of fitness. So it's every year's different. You never know what's going to happen, and this year being a good fleet again, it's on. You know, we're going to have quite a competitive fleet, and you never know what's going to happen. Lots of in and out through the surf. We go around, I think, a dozen capes, which is most of those are through breakers. So beach launch every day, round capes, in through the surf at the end of the leg. So then that adds to as well that race is a pretty quick pace. So it's good. A lot happening.
A lot happening. Just when I was looking at the course before, and before we went to air, I saw and we spoke about Jacksonville. My memory of Jackson, and we went there specifically because it is a massive surf beach.
Yeah.
So you're literally in and out of those breakers on a daily basis.
Yeah, and just the heads up on that is, I remember one year we ended up with this 22 boats. We ended up with only 4 surviving.
Oh, jeez.
So that's through the surf. So that's, it's full on. If the surf's running, and it often is, there's a lot of surfing skills within the sailing, yeah.
Well, you're on the right show because we've got one, Jordan Spencer here, who's got surfing skills coming out his ears and watching and witnessing the Mooloolaba Bar on a daily basis. He'll tell you exactly how it's done.
Yeah, we're looking for gunners here.
It is interesting though, the whole I read the sailing instructions, and you start on the beach, don't you? So there's a flag, there's 2 flags on the sand, and it's the full countdown. It's like a normal race start, but you've got to be you're stationary on the beach behind the flags, and then there's like a 5-minute and a 4-minute and 1 minute, the whole thing, and it's the same with the finish, and it's only the 2 sailors that can take the boat into the water, from what I understand, and take it out. Is that right?
Yeah. No, that's correct. We've got 2 guys that can push the boat this time, where it was one person only, and it's pretty hard if you get caught up and your thongs fall off and you can't keep pushing. but I think we find it a challenge because the boys are on there going out through the white water, and if the runners aren't going down and things like Chris gets tangled up with the jib sheet or something, it can all play havoc, so we wind up pushing them back out again. We don't want that to happen.
Well, I know Bicey just gave me a full sort of talk up then, but one of the best training potentials is wait for a stormy day. If you want to get practice ahead of future for competitors who want to do it in the future, launching off the beach at Henley, where Bicey lives, when there's a swell running, that's a classic for wiping out masts and doing lots of 5-0s off there where you sail with a fixed rudder. So you had to sail out without a rudder through the surf. This sounds pretty easy, what you're telling to me. Like,
I beg to differ. I'm looking at a webcam at Palm Beach at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
Mate, you're not getting out there anytime soon. Jesus.
You want to have seen it here in the last 3 days. You wouldn't have got out here either.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
So are there instances of, despite the gun going, you need to sit it out a bit, wait for the tide to change, wait for the conditions to change, so to speak?
Definitely. It's interesting, in all the years I've done it, it's 14 years, 14 times. There's only once I know of where they've cancelled the leg. So we're used to going out, and no matter what, which is a bit of a worry. So it'll be interesting this year how they push it. But only one leg's been cancelled. We've had to go through some pretty big stuff. So, yes, when the gun goes, the smart thing is just to watch. If it's a big day, let them go and see what's happening. And we often will march the boat up and down the beach on the trolley and find a rip to get out. You can do that.
Standard surfing.
Standard surfing. Nothing different.
Kick off the thongs and go for a march.
Yeah.
I went through it for you last time.
Hate it, the double plugger. Get suction capped in the set.
It was the Roccos. They floated too well.
Oh, dear.
They've gone down to Bermuda somewhere. I still haven't found them.
Oh, no.
Keep an eye out for them.
Good way to keep an eye on the rip, though. Just keep chucking your thong out and see where it is.
Trying to float it. Good idea.
It's a good training technique, Bicey. That's why you come on the show, boys.
So traditionally, this race has been around. It's been Hobie 16s, but no longer. It stopped being Hobie 16s a while ago, but now it's Formula 18s. Is that right? Is that what you're sailing? F18s?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so first, it's 1985, they stopped the Hobie 16s, and that format was non-stop. We used to go non-stop from the bottom to the top with the rotating three-man crew. It was awesome. No GPS.
Right.
So those days were pretty tough.
Wow.
And then it switched to various high-performance boats, 21-footers, open designs. It was pretty crazy. And then they settled back towards now the perfect boat, I think, is the F18. So it's quite a fair race.
Okay.
Is it true the race was derived from three idiots at Club Med sailing a Hobie 16 trying to do a rudder?
It's something like that. Yeah, it was derived from a bet. Yeah, which was
that was back in the 70s. That's when they were mad.
Yeah. Well, I will just say for the listeners, just to actually define that, it was the Michael Worrell and his brother owned a restaurant, and they had a bet in the bar or something, and that whether you could sail from Virginia Beach to Florida. So they went the other way, obviously. And they made it to. They made that and did that and had a bet, and it sort of just grew from there. So it was all about sitting in the bar, having a beer, making a bet, which is our theory on bar karate, where all the best ideas come from.
We still haven't had one, but we're still testing the theory.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the video footage of Chris throwing his bungers in the water to see where the rips are.
Yeah.
I'm going to butt in there, but I'll tell you, they won't float.
Yeah. I'll just translate because we will get a bit of US listening, right? So just for those who don't know, I'm sure you do, but thongs in Australia are, I don't know what the Yanks call them, flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Yeah. And a bunger is a pair of thongs, which is a pair of flip-flops, So just translating the lingo for you.
And maybe just for the K1W1 listeners.
Yeah.
That's a jandle.
A jandle, yeah.
I know. Every time I hear jandle, I think of sandwich. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I don't know where I was going to go, but the whole, that's it, the 24-hour thing. We can't walk past that. So it was non-stop originally.
Yeah, way back it was non-stop. And they had 3 men rotating the boat. So you do 2 legs on, 1 leg off. And we had camper vans chasing us up with the ground crew, and you'd swap out at every checkpoint. So there's 10 checkpoints. At night, the checkpoints are limited by strobes. At daytime, orange flags.
Yeah.
And you'd come through the surf middle of the night, one guy get off, one guy get on, and that through the surf middle of the night. It was pretty wild stuff.
Oh, wow.
1,000 miles. We used to do it in 4.5 days non-stop.
Wow.
In Hope 16. It was good going.
Yeah.
Good year.
How are you at the end of that? I mean, that's you're exposed. It's not like you're on a yacht.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, you're out there. You're actually in the weather. You're in the wind. You're in the waves.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we've had some bad times out there, but we got through. But we've wrecked. We've gone through a few boats in this race.
Jesus.
We've gone through a few boats.
Not
You
to
gotta have a
mention,
back.
not to mention, gone through some humans.
Yeah. All right, so with the F18 then, so we've gone away from the Hobies. We got daily legs. With the F18 suddenly, because that's box rule. So what design have we gone with for Team Oz? What are we backing?
The Nacro for this one. Rod and I have sailed all of them, the Wildcat and C2, and this is our third boat. So for us, we think the Nacro's got the most volume up front, which is pretty important waves. Yeah.
Okay, so you got a Nacro F18. Obviously, you've had it there for a few weeks. You've been out training on it, got it all ready to go, rigged up.
Yeah, right. It's just coming out of the container. Yeah, we're still doing it.
So just confirming there, the boat is not there.
It's on the water, but
It's in a container.
We've got the mast ready, sails ready, decals on the sails.
Well, Brett knows all about logistics, and this has been a logistics nightmare.
Yeah, I can vouch for it, and I can understand. Surely,
Pretty much
absolutely.
any container that's on the water is generally minus 30 days, and that's pretty much what this has been. So there's no plus in the container world. So this boat was due 3 weeks ago, Rod? And it's the first half arrived. So 2 containers, one from Netherlands and one from Thailand, where they're built. And the second container is clearing now with the hulls. So we've had the mast. We've got the mast and the sails, and now we got to get the hulls.
Okay, so you're going to have a boat, but you haven't got a boat, is the assessment of the situation.
All right, so
But you have been there for 3 weeks training. Now, Jordan and I, we've both been to Miami.
Yeah.
Is this been your specific training ground? South Beach, Miami?
Yeah.
quite funny because we are running out of ideas. So the other morning we got up early. We had our GPSs round our neck, running up the beach into the north.
Walking up the beach.
Desperate stuff to prove we're doing something. So.
Oh, mate, 3 days was long enough for me in that joint.
Yeah.
3 weeks would be ridiculous. Now, tell me, are you where do you stand with the Nacro? Is this a common boat for the event, or it's quite a mix?
Well, they've got a few entered, and there'll be a mixture of F18s being a box rule. And I feel that, as Chris and Rod said, that the Nacra's been chosen they've changed the design, which has helped the volume of the boat. It'll be interesting, actually, because all the boats that'll be in there have got different rudder designs too, So we've chosen the one that's very similar to the Hobie, that where the rudders flick up, it helps a lot. And, coming in and going out through the surf, you want to be able to slam your rudders down and get going. And likewise, when you're coming in, you want the rudders to pop up and surf the beach without breaking anything, So, so the main thing is that's why they went for the Nacra, and we're just getting around this. Actually, it's a brand new model, this one. There's only probably one in Australia. It's over in Western Australia, but it's called the Evolution. And the previous model Nacra Infusion, it didn't have the deck sweeper on it, and the deck sweeper sail makes a hell of a difference to get a lot of power down low and helps you tack and jibe better and accelerate as well. And the boats going around courses get a lot of benefit from that. But I feel this time when Rod and Chris get out there on this boat, that they'll have a lot more control. It'll be better in heavy air because you've got a bit more of a pinhead main, and it's not the big main that we had on the previous model. And I think the handling of the boat will mean a lot, because it does take its toll on you sailing a boat that's hard to steer and behave the way it should. But we're fingers crossed when we get to Miami and put it on board, we might have a few days practice. And
fingers crossed you get a few days practice for sure.
This boat is absolutely brand spanking. The split rings aren't spread or, Yeah, so it's
wow.
It's just getting the settings right and just trusting our instincts on previous boats we've put together over the years. And so we'll I think the team will do well. I feel that we've put so much into it, and we want to do Australia proud. And as you know, we like the banter, and if anyone out there wants to throw something at us, by all means.
We'll open that.
Well, we got at least another half an hour, so strap in.
All right, so
I've got.
Go on, Bossy.
Yeah, no, so much to unpack. There's so many things to think about. And I'll just start with the prevailing conditions. What's the take? Is it a consistent time of year in that area, or so you know what you're going to get, or it's always changing?
So the biggest challenge when we start the first legs is it pays to go out of the Gulf Stream. So the Gulf Stream round about Miami is fairly close to the coast.
Mm-hmm.
You've got prevailing southeasterly winds. So the question is, do you go, and it's usually down, so about a 90-mile leg, first leg. Typically, you'd want to go out and starboard jibe, and the further you go, the bigger the gain. As the wind backs round into the south, when you jibe back into the coast towards the finish, you've got the big gainer. But the biggest problem is that once you get in the Gulf Stream, you've got the weed. And the weed on these boats, it causes havoc. So there's a bit of a trade-off. You start to hit the weed, you virtually stop. So you tend to go out to the Gulf Stream just to see the weed and jibe in. So that's kind of the prevailing conditions for the first probably half of the race, playing with the Gulf Stream and the southeaster.
Hang on, boys. I've got some strategy because I love to do my research. I found some strategy from a team from the 2001 race, and just talking about that. And their first point is stay inshore. If it means jib reaching instead of flying a chute, stay in. If it means throwing 120 or 150 legs in attack, stay in. And if it looks really good offshore, stay in. That's one of their philosophies. So that was interesting when I found that. So that was 2001 philosophy. Yours is go on.
Well, it's interesting because instinctively on a small boat in the ocean, you want to stay in. Yeah. But I know I've seen some massive gains out there. So you've got to have sort of balls of steel sometimes, and go 30 miles out offshore and come in with big gainer. So it's usually when it starts to really blow. Obviously, you want to be near the coast, but in that sort of medium stuff, when it's full tilt, outplays. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So those idiots from 2001, you moron.
They win.
I don't think so. No.
Oh no, they were last. So. Wow. So obviously you're not going to. Well, there's a couple of things. Some of the legs could be extremely quick. Some could be quite slow. Nutritionally wise, though, you're not just getting through a leg having a Mars bar and a glass of water before you go. How do you deal with that side of things? You just take a whole heap of stuff with you that's well thought out, or on the run a little bit, have the odd alligator sanger on the way?
As Seaway sips a beer.
For the listeners, as soon as Bicey said you're not just going to survive on a Mars bar and a bit of water, the three of them looked at each other like, oh, shit.
What about that?
We've got a camel pack this time. We've got a camel pack we can drink from as we go along.
Right.
It's really interesting. The race, it's so intense.
Right.
You really don't have time. It's amazing how little you have.
Okay.
So you try to keep the fluids up, but you just can't. If you stop to eat, you're going to lose, half a mile. It's because these boats are doing 15, 20, so you can't stop. And if you start to even back off, they're going to a good chance of going over. So you don't have much on the boat.
Got a little secret from Thailand, though, the chicken and the sticky rice. So it'll probably be
Well, the question then has to become, what are the leg lengths? So, like, how long are you at sea and what length are each of the legs?
They're, I think the shortest leg's about 50 nautical miles and the longest about 120.
Okay. So you're done within daylight unless there's no wind?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But, not necessarily. So not necessarily. Going back up until just a few years ago, we were day night. So this day sailing, it'll be 80% day sailing, but we have no wind. We're going to be coming in dark. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's interesting, isn't it? Like it's the probably the critical question is it fun?
I'll butt in there. It is fun, actually. I did a leg with Rod last time, and we did the one from Jacksonville to Tybee Island, and that's the longest leg that they'll do. And we had what we call Goldilocks conditions, but we went out wide, and it paid off. But we hit jelly blubbers on the way in, and one of the strategies this time is hopefully we can make some shocks for the rudders and keep them down so that we can avoid that.
Yep.
It's a tough event. So what happens is it's relentless. So every day you got to do average 100 miles every day. So if you get to the checkpoint, you got to get fed, bed, get up the next morning, do another 100 miles. So it does wear you out. It's like running a marathon. So enjoyment comes in the satisfaction of your result or just finishing whatever it is. But it is tough. It's a tough event, but just when everyone comes back, if you do one, you want to do another. So.
I understand it. So let's talk about the teams. Obviously, there's quite a lot of people racing in this year's one. They're all excited to be back. I guess it wouldn't be that social during the race, but I'm sure there's a big festival at the end of it.
Oh no! This time,
you can see me laughing, right?
So that the ground crew can have a good time, and the sailors can come home wrecked and go to bed early.
There's a lay day.
There's a lay day. Oh, there we go.
That's a good spot.
Climbing's halfway up, so a lay day there.
Is that?
It is a good spot. Yeah.
Where's the lay day?
At Tybee Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, look at the chart.
We're getting the chart out.
just unroll the chart. There it is.
In the it's right there. That's where we start, and that's where we finish.
Yeah. So about halfway along.
So we've got started in the middle of the back. About
that's about
L4.
Yeah,
we're making our way.
Finish looks to be at C7, so that's all good.
Yeah, I don't want to go to L1.
Love it.
Okay,
love it.
So, as Bossy said, we have spent some time together floating around in Florida and the States. There are unique people. I'm interested, Brett, you're going to have more time on the ground. What are some of when you're wandering around talking to the locals and you say, we're going to sail these little boats in a race 1,000 miles up the coast, what are some of the reactions you're getting from people, like hand over your wallet, or is it, you guys are crazy?
The reaction I'm getting, do you have an interpreter? I can't get these Aussie accents.
Yeah. You goddamn crazy Aussies.
I had a bloke yesterday thinking I was from New York. And I thought, Jesus, what do I look like, a New Yorkian, or is it the accent,
Wow.
So I was born out in the bush anyway, so I can't work out why they think I'm from New York.
Well, I've got an
walking-
idea, but I'm
walking
not-
around, you get a lot of locals. We go shopping for parts for the boat, and do our daily grocery shopping and that type of thing. And it's quite interesting that when you get to talk to the locals, they really cling to you because they love the Aussie accent.
Yeah.
And not only that, when we did, I think we told them at the checkout the other day, we had a couple of nice people ask us about what are you doing over here, and we said we're sailing this race up the east coast of America, and they said, oh wow, and they get really excited, but I don't think they know the extremes of what we're doing.
No.
Geez, I tell you what, Brett,
yeah,
Brett, if they get confused with you being, thinking you're from New York, how do they go with Chris Seaway being from Canada but in the Aussie team? How does that pan out?
They get the A every time.
He's a good interpreter, actually. I use him because the other night, I think, wasn't it, I couldn't get something on my email, and there's an American. Oh no, it was our. You remember, it was our SIM cards, right? And as soon as I handed the phone over with his somehow jummed up American accent, but he's Canadian, bugger me, he gets it all passed. Maybe they can't understand the lingo. I don't know.
It's funny. It is funny. It's good to see.
We got
an interpreter.
We got 2 SIM cards out, but Rod and myself have now got a phone. We can talk to each other. Everyone lost.
3-factor authentication. You got to get through the Aussie letter.
I've got to say, boys, that after the Volvo a couple of editions ago, I came home and one of my mates rang up from the States and said they're doing the race across America, which is a push bike race across America. And it sounds exactly the same. You got a support crew. They just rotate, doesn't stop. Sounds like the old way of the Worrell. And he said, and we need an extra body. So I jumped on the plane and got there. And we went, you're talking about phones and SIM cards. We went and we decided we would just buy burner phones for all the crew so everyone could sort of stay in contact. And because we bought 10 phones in one hit, they called the cops on us because they thought we were drug dealers.
Yeah. That's why we don't buy burner phones.
Oh, well.
So I'm intrigued on the support side. What have you got? You got a big Chevy van, all
that's the
boxing
question.
kangarooed up.
You know what? This trip's really started off on a good note for me because I bought a Chevy before I left. And now we're in a bloody Hyundai Prius or whatever.
Hyundai towing a spare F18 up the coast.
Yeah, well, we haven't made the tow ball for it yet, but
just put it on the roof. Put it on the roof.
Actually, we saw a truck yesterday. We'll send you the picture later, but this truck yesterday, it was about 2 stories high and had these, looked like Mad Max wheels with the spikes out the side.
Oh, wow.
And that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
So do you have the Prius stick it up? You've got a Team Australia.
We tried to buy a lift kit, but they don't make one.
Oh, I can just imagine that. That would be a classic.
So
Prius driving down the road with Australian flags and boxing kangaroos all over it.
Yeah,
hang on. It's not a Prius,
I
boys.
tell you what, we won't be missed this time because we've got really good signage on the sail.
Yeah.
And it's on the jib a really big, long Australian logo. So we haven't launched it yet. I haven't even put it on social media. So hopefully we'll get it out there and everybody will start to follow the race, which is what we need. We need support. And Rod doing it so many times.
There it is. Team Australia.
That'll be on the mate. Yeah.
Don't mistake that for the chart you've got on your back. You won't get anywhere.
You boys, just for a bit of fun.
I don't know why navigators make such a big deal. You
boys, for a bit of fun, because you haven't got your hulls yet, but you've got everything else, you could almost rig up a frame.
We got Plan B. I'll let Rod tell you what Plan B is.
Here we go.
We're pretty lucky in that respect, so we won't be going without a boat.
Okay. Let's hit it.
Okay.
Let's hit Plan B.
Plan B, please.
Because I've got Plan C.
I've got Plan D, but I'm not sure a Prius would float.
Oh, you never know.
I'll give Plan E. I'll give Plan E a crack.
Yeah. No, we've got
let's go for B.
over here. We've got good friends over here, and we do have 2 boats ready for us, fully fully rigged, actually at the start line ready. So they're locals who want us on the start line. So we're going to be fine. We're fine.
Okay, all right. Well, that takes a lot of stress out. You don't need my plan C then.
Which is,
I want to hear it.
Yeah,
we want to hear it. Go on.
Okay.
It might be worth a look.
I don't know if you blokes know, but I'm pretty.
Hang on, stop there.
Yeah.
Just grab a piece of A4 paper. Pinch it at one end.
I don't know if you blokes know, but we're pretty tight with the Australian Sail GP team. You know, they've got a boat in Bahamas right now. Rod, I suspect you might be even tighter with the members of the team.
I think so.
So we should point out. I think this is the first time in history where we've actually had the son on the show. Now we've got the father. So we had your son Jace on the show. Obviously, get on well with the boy. And now I think this is the first time we've ever done that father-son sort of thing. So is that is that an honour you feel like you?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I've despite this little bit going on here, I see a flaw in your plan. You're definitely going to blow out a thong getting that thing down the beach. Yeah. Trying to push the F50 down the beach.
Yeah. It'd be nice with the foils going down. You're trying to push the body down.
Maybe that might make it easier, less sort of surface area.
Just by the way, which one's from Mooloolaba?
Me, Jordan.
Well, my young bloke was there a couple of weeks ago and he won the Mooloolaba on the winding.
Oh, okay. I did some...
And I think somebody interviewed him, but, yeah, he crossed the paddock pretty well on camera.
Well...
that was that dude doing donuts around you, Jordan.
Yeah.
The bloke going past you all the time saying, you okay, mate? You okay, mate?
Good on. There was a full...
The two sons, I thought was rather nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, the wingding thing's taken off. That was good. That's because that's going to be the side of the Olympics in 32 for the kite falling and stuff, from what I understand. So that's the whole test of that. Congratulations there, Brett. The question I do have to ask, Brett, we talked about these boys keep saying Prius, but you've said it's a Hyundai, so we know it's not a Prius. Your support vehicle.
I threw that in because we thought of the fuel economy.
Oh, okay, copy. The support vehicle. Is your goal just to drive it all the way along the beach?
Thought about it. I mean, it's not a 4-wheel drive, but that would be good. That would be good. I know this bloke would like to do it. We did actually. We went out to Hatteras, and it's an area a bit like Stockton Beach.
Yeah.
And, it was a classic, actually. We were all in the car, and we're heading to this off-road only to go into the sandy beach. And we said, well, we'll just go over there, pull up and jump out and go and have a look at one of the checkpoints, Anyway, these guys in these big Chevy trucks go past with a big smile pointing at us thinking, you idiots, and we're in this front-wheel drive little freaking Hyundai Jets or whatever, Anyway, so we looked back at each other and said, we're not going to be that silly. Oh. We turned around and came back on the sealed road. We weren't going out there in the sand, that's for sure.
No.
I was waiting for a really big story there.
Yeah.
Joe disappointed you, but you know what? I cannot believe. See, the last time, the amount of 4-wheel drives.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he would have. He would have made it out there, he reckons.
Yeah, that's right. It's just put the chains on and just keep going,
Just back to the race. So, Rod, you've done this a few times. Chris, is this your first?
This is my first, yeah.
And what sort of silly evening did you decide to put all this together and make this happen?
Well, Rod and I have done a couple of worlds together, so every few years we get together and do something on. So, we did the worlds in Hungary and in Long Beach, and we've done F-18 sailing around a bit in Australia. But as you know, I sail a lot of monohulls So I think the navigation side should be relatively simpler, maybe. I don't know. But the certainly all by iPhone. There's no option of going below, like your little weapon to check things out. So, that's going to be a challenge. I think getting out of the elements is going to be getting out there and staying
fit.
Not getting cold probably is the biggest issue as we get north. So, and losing concentration. But I think other than that, we've sailed a lot of miles together every run. So,
So the sailing side of it's not going to be an issue, but for you in particular, I guess you'll be relying on Rod to give you a bit of motivation to stay to understand the distance side of things.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a bit different from round the cans at the Worlds, but we'll get there.
So so the question then, BP's smart to pull us back on to topic here.
Just checking the run sheet.
Nothing in there about the Hyundai Prius.
It's a new model. It's a new model.
New model, yeah.
So what are the...
Proudly brought to you by.
What are the main dangers on the course? Like we've mentioned the weed and the jellyfish, the fact that you've got to go offshore. What are the things that worry you on this race course?
Turtles are actually one of the biggest problems. So it tends to be hitting objects at speed with these light boats.
Yep.
So there's a lot of timber out there floating, but turtles have taken out a lot of boats.
Right.
I've hit the wreck of a steamer. I mean, I've hit wrecks of boats. I mean, when you're if you're starting to work the coast, you're cutting corners. There's a lot of stuff that you can. So that is one of the problems you deal with. Fishing boats, a lot of shrimpers on our course. Sandbanks that we're trying to deal with. Sandbanks.
Yeah, right.
It's a minefield out there.
That's kind of why we went out to Hatteras, was to see what the sandbank looks like this year, because it moves so much and the charts aren't accurate at all. So getting close to shore, or you have to go out further.
The soles of Hatteras go out about 12 miles. So
wow,
you got to determine whether you're going to go on the beach 2 miles out, 10 miles out, and that decision is critical depending on the conditions. You can win a race just by taking that big risk on the inside. It's a risk because you big breakers. So every cape has a decision to be made. Yeah.
Wow. It's the other thing I think is I don't know if there's much marking, the navigation markers out there. Do they have like danger markers and all that sort of stuff? I guess the US, they have their navigation pylons reversed when coming into channels and stuff. Is that right as well? Does that cause confusion?
You got to deal with that. Yeah.
Right, returning.
Hey, no channels, just straight up and down the beach.
I've never thought about colour blindness in sailing. That's a good one. The other question then, apart from dangers on the water, who are the dangers in the racecourse? Who are the main threats? Obviously, I see the name Randy Smythe there.
Yeah, he's the favourite for sure. It's quite interesting. So Randy's won the race, I think, 6 times.
Correct.
And he's just a fox. This race it's pretty rare. It's been won by the fastest guys on the course, although he's very fast. It's just being clever on the long-term tactics, navigation, and having a bit of knowledge on the shortcuts, etc. So it'd be probably half the fleet are going to be extremely competitive this year. It's going to be probably 6 boats that win it.
Okay, just before we go on to those 6 boats, you've just said the hare and the tortoise analogy. You sort of brought that up. And then just in the breath previously, you just said turtles are the main danger on the course. Are you saying Randy Smythe is a turtle that goes around wrecking boats and that's the only way he's winning? That's what you're saying?
The US sunfish.
The US sunfish.
Let's run with that.
No, okay. All right, so if we actually go back, so we've sort of focused in there on Randy, but there is a whole bunch of teams. Give us any that sort of jump out just randomly, any names that you think.
To be honest, I haven't really looked hard into the running. There's a guy, Gerard Luce, who's the Dutch entry. Yeah, Gerard Luce. He's a real quick sailor, and he's out there. But it's a mixture. So a lot of new players this time. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. I see, and you've got good relationship with Katie Pettibone and obviously Caroline Brower. Is that team there? I haven't spoken to either of those.
Rumor has it they aren't, but we'll find out down in Florida. We saw Caroline. Yeah, a few months back, and she was on the edge. So
right, okay.
It'd be good if they turned up. Yeah,
that'd be great. It looks like they're the only all-female crew if they do turn up. Yeah.
Sailors.
I started with Katie actually in I think it's 2001.
Yep.
On the race, so we had a great time together.
Yeah.
She's a legend, no doubt.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. So
I'm a bit sidetracked. I'm just on the website, which everyone should go check out, the Worrell1000race.com, going through the historical or going through the gallery, actually.
Yep.
Bloody hell. You blokes are mad. This is crazy. This is crazy stuff.
It's just training for the X2, Brett.
Yeah. That's what you said you were doing it for.
So how'd you make it here, gents? You've been a couple of times, Rob, but as far as sponsors and everything's concerned, or this is all just one of those late nights, let's do this again?
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's just a bunch of mates this time. You know, we used to have the big budget team and the big sponsors, and this time it's us. And we put it together.
Rebuilding, really.
Rebuilding. And
sponsors have been harder because the kind of fell away. Now it's coming back.
I'm guessing you've got an energy company sponsorship.
I'm sure there's a bit of that, yeah.
You want to give it a plug? Like anybody you want to give a plug? We don't care.
Yeah, I like the fuel prices. That's made up a big part of the campaign. Or a benefit to the campaign cost. No problems there at all.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Now,
just a quick plug to Grant Bow. He did our logos for the sale.
Yeah.
Did a damn good job. He did the artwork, and I can't wait for all you guys to see it. It'll look good.
So, where's Grant? What's he do? What's his company?
I can't remember now, but he's from the Central Coast. No, actually, Morisset, I suppose you could call it Central Coast.
Oh, yeah, yep, no, exactly.
So he's got a sign business there, and he's got enough on his plate with Kentucky Fry. You think they would have supported us?
Yeah. So, Grant Bow, good work, Grant. We love your work, mate. I think
Subway should support us too.
Oh, you've been buying up a bit, have you?
Subway and Starbucks. And Chevy, come on, Chevy. I want someone to give us a Silverado to go to the finish line.
That shouldn't be too hard to organise. I'm sure someone from there is listening right now. We've got a pretty good reach. So
I bought before I left, it cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, well. The question for those that we are talking about, you know, like trying to get people to pay attention, there is Race Tracker. So we can actually track you guys live, correct?
Yeah. That's if they don't put the wrong trackers on.
Oh.
They did that last time. They were actually coming last.
Wow. Let's assume the best case scenario where we don't do that. You can go to the website. So as BP said, you can go to the Worrell website and everything's on there. But so we can actually follow that, track you guys live. Racing starts the 9th of May. So that's the 9th of May in the US, which translates to the 10th here in Australia because we live in the future. And then it goes through the the 22nd, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds pretty cool. So it's 1,000 miles. At what mile do you start to get sick of each other?
I'm already sick of it.
Already are 3 weeks with no boat.
3 weeks of intense onshore training.
We have a unique sale of styling. It's niggle, 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 and then bang, and then you're good for another 100 miles. So
Okay.
That's a bit like us blokes, actually. That's why we record in 3 different states. Generally, I'm in Piss State.
Yeah,
Jordan's in Queensland. Brett's in New South Wales.
How far do you take the speed thing? So if you're, you mentioned sort of there's a little bit of strategy of survival. Are you sailing the boats at 98% or you're sailing the boats at 80%?
You are. It's really difficult because it's not really for safety. It's trying to preserve the boat. So by going 100% through the surf, you're not going to make it one of the times going out. So you got to know when to go for it and know when to pull back. So, but it's full on. If you do back off, you're not going to win this race.
Yeah,
you got a bit of everything, got a bit of speed. Yeah, you can't really. You got to sail 100% sometimes, depending on what's happening.
Right. The other question becomes
put a plug in for our team manager here. He's right down to the micromillimeter on all the measurements, and that's pretty important because the distances every 0.25% makes a difference. So we can be off on our navigation, of course, but at the end of the day, the average highest speed is going to win this.
Yeah.
And good maintenance too. It's so damn important that every day the boys come in, I go over the boat, and it's a bit like a Formula One race that you got to check every shackle, every split ring, check the sails, the tramp, the rudders, and because things become loose, sheets can become unspliced. There's a whole scenario of things, and if you can put a checklist together and go through all that also helps. A lot for the sailors to be confident that they can go out there and do their thing,
Hey, Brad, could I suggest you get on the phone and tell Jason Lisa that?
I think I'll let Rod do that. He's a bit more subtle.
The question. That's very topical. Okay, from here. The question for you, Brett, then is from you've made this decision to go with a Hyundai front wheel drive, pretend car.
Yeah.
This little tiny thing.
If you go to our Facebook site, you might see the sticker on the back of it.
Okay. What sort of spares can you carry in such a midget car? Have you got spare rudders? You got spare?
I'll show you the toolkit I got.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just going to get his Leatherman, I believe.
Oh, not much bigger. Oh dear.
It's a tool rack. So you go.
There's 4 Leathermen in there.
There's a few Leathermans in there, and you just undo that. Chris will help me.
Oh yeah, it's just a roll-out bag. Yeah.
Clamp on the boat, and bingo, there it all is.
I'm partial to the old tool roll myself.
The only risk with those is the only risk.
And the loose gauge, you can tune your boat up.
I love that. I think Bice is right. The tool roll is a great thing. The only risk with running that program is sometimes you pick up your chef knives instead of your tool roll.
That's bloody true. That's true.
But no, if something breaks, where do you get your spare parts?
Well, the East Coast sail boat that we've got the boat from is sort of they're the NACRA dealers, so they're carrying a whole new
Okay.
So
They follow the race a little bit. Well, they follow the race up.
They're with us. He's actually competing as well, so they've got a full race team as well.
Okay.
plug too, actually, because he's been good, hasn't he?
Sailboat too.
So the ground crew, we have Brett, we have Kerry, my wife, and we have Tony Good, who's a local.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
he's bringing his truck, so we're going to have a bit of a decent size. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
So on the back of the truck is the Hyundai Prius.
That's probably
and Brett will be sitting in that, just going along thinking he's driving, right?
when the battery dies, it'll be
Sitting in there thinking he's driving up on the back of the truck. Oh, very funny.
So we're sort of running out of time. We're down to the last minute or three. The question is, what's the goal? What is the goal with the event?
Yeah.
What do you want? Are you going for the win?
We're going for the win. Yeah, definitely going for the win. There's no other goal but that. We want to finish and we want to do the best we can. And obviously, we've got a chance, but we have to get it dead right. We haven't had the best run up to this with no boat. We're a long way behind the local, a long way behind. But it's one of those races where anything can happen, and we've got a red hot shot of doing well.
We're going in the underdog. So.
Yeah. The advantage of not having your boat there is that now your weather modelling will be right up to scratch at the moment. You would have just...
We're on the phone to Jason, so we get the 51.
I'm just having a bit of a look at the forecast. Looks good actually around start time. We all know that can change easily though. But if I drag it back a few days, there's absolutely no wind at all up the Florida coast. Now, of course, we're still a long way out, but what that is showing is there is potential to be no wind at some point in time. But yeah, let's hope those southerlies and southeasterlies stay in because looks like a hell of a ride for sure.
The question that is obvious for every listener here is that how would a Barkarati team go, do you reckon?
It'd be awesome.
You guys will go great. I'm on the shore crew.
Mate, I'm
You guys can have a go.
You guys can have a go with your grand crew.
Okay.
I reckon you'd do very well.
I reckon he'll have a reliable boat.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm on the website now, and we've got the exact page we need. The 2022 event social schedule.
Oh yeah,
that's us.
Yeah, that's an important one. That's a good one.
Put it this way, one of us will be drinking out of red plastic cups, eating alligator tacos.
Mexican's good over there. Yeah.
The other two will be laughing too much.
Righto then.
Christmas play off the burritos.
Dear. Hey, there's clearly one thing that's obvious. So you're going in with a good attitude. Like everyone's having a laugh, and it's three mates on an adventure. Well, and your wife, of course, Rod, and the locals that you've picked up on the way, and the tag-alongs. But so you're actually there having a grand old time, which is probably any successful sailing campaign comes with that sort of approach. So I pretty much think we feel like we can guarantee the win.
Yeah. That's a big call, but we'll take it.
Now, some say that particular manoeuvre is the commentator's curse or the kiss of death, but it's not, believe it or not. Bar Karate has produced a few winners in its day.
You're right, yeah.
So it's kind of the Clayton's curse, let's call it.
Yeah,
You're bound to go for the win.
Yeah. Righto.
Vicey's 100% right. You come on Bar Karate, you get the win. It has been the case so far. So feel good, boys. We take that responsibility. We take
it extremely seriously. So
we definitely need the sailor's lager at the other end, or somewhere along the way. It's not so.
Yeah.
What's going on? There's your sales manager.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite made it to the US yet. You can go and see our mate Sean Wagner at Plankona Brewery in Charleston, though.
That might be a good thing to do. Let's hook them up.
He's sure to look you up, and he'll
spoil you rotten.
Yeah, Absolutely.
Excellent.
Just tell him.
And by the way, Sean, that merch pack, just in the post, mate.
Somewhere.
All right, boys. I think we might leave you in peace.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for the interview.
It's a ton of fun.
All righty.
We look forward to following, boys,
Yeah,
and we'll be sure to keep the listeners up to date. And for the listeners, go check it out. Get on the tracker.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Love your work.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Good fun, fellas. As mentioned, Jordan, 3 days in Miami was long enough for us. Imagine 3 weeks without your boat.
Well, I have to say I've done a lot of sailing with Seaway, and I've known him for a long, long time. Chris Way, that is. And fun is generally the key word around Chris. He loves takes it very seriously on the water, but loves a good time, and that's no question. I mean, he and Rod have been friends for a long, long time.
100% serious, 23% of the time.
That's it. They'll take that motto on.
To all the competitors, though, best of luck. Be safe out there. We're fired up for you. It's a cool event. We wanted to embrace it because it's different, like it's something fun. And so, best of luck to everyone. I hope everyone wins. How's that?
Yeah, good one. Go the Aussies.
Go Team Oz, very good.
Cool. Club events, Charleston Race Week. To all our Seppo friends, congratulations.
Absolutely.
It's huge. Charleston Race Week, and we gave Plank Owner a good plug because they're the sponsor, I think. They put all the beers on, but largest keelboat regatta in the Americas. So it's a big one. Probably worth knowing. So the J70s, the Melgers, the VXs, the J24s that haven't.
The J22s, the J88s, the J105s. Any more Js available? More Js? Any advance on Js?
Unspecified one design, so all the other Js.
Unspecified Js.
But it's got them all. It's got like the sports boats.
Sports Js.
That area. So, essentially that's what it is. The VXs, the RS21s.
Oh, yeah.
So the Melgers 24.
We sold those RS21s in Miami. That's why we're there.
Correct. So that looks like a fun regatta.
Yeah.
I've heard about it more than once, and we see it pop up every year.
No doubt a few Plank Owner beers will be consumed.
Well, the other
Plank Owner,
thing,
well as
I'm going to
a bit of Gosling's rum.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know where you can find all the info if you are interested. If you go to the website Flotilla, 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 our friends from Flotilla, who we are good mates with, are doing the whole shebang. So that's probably the easiest thing you can do is just chase them through that, and then you're good to go.
That's the whole idea of that site. So that's what they're trying to achieve. Give it a run.
Perfectly executed. So, again, good luck to all our American friends over there. Let us know. Send us some emails if there's any good stories or photos. Just feel free to go for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Jack Lloyd, Listener of the Week. Anybody got nominations? Because I've got 2.
Oh, well, we'll listen to them then.
Well, I'm just giving you 2 the opportunity before I try and dominate like normal.
The Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week goes to Jordan Spencer. No.
Well, funnily enough, first one, the first nomination is a young lady by the name of Felicity Bice. I'm sympathetic to Felicity's cause. She married Nick Bice, and I'm nominating her for Listener of the Week because it is her birthday as we record. So Bicey's skipping out on her birthday. My wife's birthday 2 days ago, so she made it so we couldn't record on that day. But Felicity, much less selfish, and she's sound asleep, as are the kids, as we record this at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we don't disturb her birthday. But a nomination as Felicity is potential Listener of the Week.
Nice
one. Well, we'll take that. The good news is if she does win, I don't need to put the merch pack in the mail because she's getting it for her birthday. What more would she want than a Bar Karate hoodie, a Star Wars themed bar karate T-shirt or the Kraken, and I might even have a couple of sailor lagers left.
Beauty. I love it. Good luck.
That'll actually go well with the golf ball she's about to receive,
and the fishing rods.
No, that was last year.
Oh, that poor woman.
So you're nearly fully sorted, aren't you?
The other nomination, 505 sailors all across the globe.
Oh.
Do you know why?
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Do tell.
Because we are this week. It will be International 505 Day. 5th of
Yes.
5th of
You're
May.
right. 5th of May.
5.05.
Yes.
So, it
doesn't matter which way you look at it, whether you're down in our great nation or the US. May 5 or 5 May.
Yep, that's it. Obviously, we do have a sort of lead-up day beforehand. They have Star Wars Day the day before, May the 4th.
Yes.
But 505, International 505 Day this week. So congratulations to all the 505 sailors or those who have sailed 505s or just had to listen to people crap on about 505s.
And just for the listener out there, if you haven't received or purchased your Star Wars themed bar karate T-shirt yet, get on the website. Ready for May the 4th.
Oh, dear. All right. Good work. Well, you know what that means. Ole, 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 ole. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
It's hot time with Bice.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. It's so good.
It's been a while. It
has been a while. Geez, I was actually just have that as my phone. Every time I get it, we use Slack as our communication platform. Every time a message comes through, that just pops up on my phone now. The notification.
I do want to bring back to one of our... We didn't decide who the listener of the week was, by the way. We did... whether it was Flick or the 50.
Well, I'll put it this way. If we're going to send a merch pack to every single 505 sailor, we're in a bit of strife.
No, just send them. They'll be right.
So here's a question. Anyway. Here's a question. Like when you go to as a husband, and you seek out the joy of spending communal time with your wife. Every good Aussie man has a way of approaching the situation. Yeah. For BP, I don't know what it is. For me, I just yell out, "Hey, babe, it's business time." For Bicey, I'm just wondering, do you walk into the room just going, "Ole, ole, 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 feeling hot, hot, hot.
It's hot time with Bice."
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Because that's what I think of every time.
I've got a pair of those trackies that rip down the side, whip them off.
Oh, Flick is so lucky.
Actually, I'm going to take that on. Boys, we better wrap this up. I've got a pair of scissors out on my tracksuit pants now.
I think we've all agreed that Flick is going to be listener of the week.
All right. Let's get into it. What are your topics, mate?
Oh, no. I was going back to your particular method.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you think you turn your wife on, she turns off.
Oh. Yeah, well, she's smarter than the average cookie. She just runs.
Yes, okay. One topic this week, gents, and it's dominated the headlines, and it's great from our point of view to see this, but we have a team announced in the two teams, for that matter, in the ocean race. The most recent being by our good friend, skipper Caroline Brower, for Team Next Gen. So a bit of a combination here. It's a Dutch team. Yep. Sailing Holland and Dutch Sail have announced the team come together, fostering the youth, having the youth side of the team is being put together. And for the Dutch, out of 14 editions, they've competed in 13. But in recent times, we've had Dutch sailors win the race, e.g. Caroline last race.
Yep.
We've had a Dutch boat with no Dutch sailors win the race, be ABN AMRO. So whilst the Dutch have a solid history in the race, in recent years they haven't had a Dutch flag, Dutch winning team. And let's not forget about Team Brunel more recently as well.
Yeah.
But best of luck to Caroline. Great to see that coming through.
Yep. The Dutch are massive they love the race.
Oh.
They love it. And
let's remember the scenes at the finish in the last edition.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people. And I am not exaggerating here.
Yeah.
It was just through the roof. So,
do you remember the scenes at the last edition where we had that sort of impromptu dance party and drink-a-thon where you and I think I had to carry you home?
No. That was another one. But anyway, good times.
The Dutch is great to have them in the race. Seriously experienced team management behind this team, so you can rely on that. They've got a business club approach, which means lots of different sponsors coming in. Look, they'll get heaps of value out of that by doing that, and it's good for the ocean race. We want the ocean race to go. So yeah, congratulations, super happy.
And let's not forget Paul Milat. Yeah, I'm bad at this. I'm going to have to let you take that one. Has announced his campaign to be on the start line in a IMOCA in a team with the announcement of Team Biotherm. So that's the third announcement we've seen in IMOCA world. So we've got Biotherm, we've got our friend Boris in Militia, and of course Charlie Enright's team 11th Hour as well. So the numbers are getting up there, boys. They're getting there, which is great to see. So
absolutely,
we hope to see a few more announcements coming soon, and leading into the summer and leading into the race, which is only eight or so months away.
Yeah, fantastic. We can't wait. It is such a good event, and just embrace it. Embrace it, kids. That's all I'll say. Sailing, all sailing's good sailing, is in my view. So yeah, that's a good one. Cool, good work. And I wonder if that dragged Caroline away from the Worrell 1000. Got her distracted.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Like they said, she might be there.
She might be there. Yeah, well, we should bring her. We should probably just ring her.
Yeah, you've got to get over there. You've got 3 weeks.
Cool. What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
You're on the hot topics with Boss.
Oh, no. The hot topics is the ocean race this week. Hot topic.
Okay,
in
that's
that
it.
regard. But there is one item which I'm going to hand over to Mr. Brett Perry about, is the Cap Martinique.
Cap Martinique.
Correct.
Cap Martinique, yes. Okay, well, this is a story of perseverance. Born in the time of COVID, the COVID limbo. First race was due to go a couple of years ago.
Just BP. I just went to, I'm sitting at a campfire, and it's like millions of years ago, and I'm just embracing this story, mate. So keep going.
Oh, you like that entrance, did you?
And he's got like a spotlight under his chin. Just picture it. Millions of years ago.
Now I've completely lost my train of thought. I had it all written out in my head, I've been thinking. You can tell I've been chalant over the last 15 minutes, and now I've been going over it and over and over it.
Okay.
Can I start again? Or?
Yeah, go however you want.
2 years ago. The start of the epidemic. No, seriously. This race has been on the radar for a long time. It's a race from La Trinette in France to Cap Martinique. It is purely for the amateur double-handed sailor, aimed at that particular market. Obviously, the last couple of years it hasn't been able to go ahead because of COVID. But on May the 1st, they're off and they're away. It's a 3,800-mile race. There's nothing. A transatlantic race for people in that region, everyone wants to do it, albeit on a mini, albeit on a Class 40 or the Route de Rame or the super professional level. But this one is definitely aimed at the amateur sailor, which is fantastic because there is actually a rule. It is no professionals.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. It's attracted. There's teams from UK. There's teams from France. Obviously, there's teams from France. There's teams from Netherlands, and one even from South Africa, Cape Town. So they've made their way up, and give a plug to them. Adrian Kutel and Jerry Heagy in a JPK 1030. So it's starting to attract a lot of people, as a race to do because of the fact that they're able to do it, themselves. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
40 boats on the start line.
40 boats, and it is limited at 40 boats. Obviously, there's a safety rule with all that sort of stuff which goes on. But and these guys looks like they've sailed the boat up from Cape Town. Would you believe it?
Right.
Wow.
I guess that's the easiest way to get it.
Just to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the boats are limited. They got to be between 30 and 40 foot, 10 to 12 metres, about 10 to 12 metres. So between 30 and 40 feet is the limit.
Correct. And there's also an IRC rating cutoff, which is sort of always, always questionable, but at the moment it stands at 1060. So that gives these boats an opportunity to race in IRC, but that's always a topic of discussion. We'll leave that one for now. Look, it's going to be interesting to watch. It's fully covered as per normal on the websites and all that jazz, but it starts on May the 1st and off they go. 3,800 miles of transatlantic. Fun.
Very cool. Very cool.
Looks like one for the X2, BP.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, the handicap issue is going to have to be discussed, but we're working on it.
Okay. Well, you have to slow your boat down. Is that what you...
As I said, the handicap issues are being discussed, but we're working on it.
Oh, you have to speed your boat up.
As I said, the handicap issues are being discussed. Keep an eye on it.
Oh, God. You sound like a politician. So, BP, those handicap issues you're working on, does that come into play with the big news that's just come out?
Massive news on day one of the X2 launch, which happened the same day. Actually, it came through. It has now been released that the double-handed class can win overall in the Sydney to Hobart, which is the Tattersalls Cup, IRC, but also in all IRC events in Australia.
Yep.
So we're away. We're in.
Not only the Tattersalls, the Illingworth Challenge, mate. You can win line on us.
Line on us.
I can't wait to see the double-handed 100-footer. This is the rumour. Comanche.
Double-handed.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting. Okay. So let me just quickly explain something. There's been a lot of conjecture going on, and of which I was a part of a panel of 69, I believe, interviewed people for and against, in which the CYC of Australia discussed with various people over a full year. I mean, it was a massive amount of work. And you have to understand that the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia is being very they're doing their due diligence on something that is new. It's relatively new to Australia, short-handed sailing. Let's be honest. What they are worried about, obviously, is opening the rule up, opening the race up, and all of a sudden, all these high-tech, let's put it out there, Amoccas and all these boats start arriving. Now, they don't have I don't even know if they have an IRC rating, but what they're trying to say is that to be eligible in the double-handed division for the use of autopilots in this race and other IRC races in Australia is that the autopilot can only control and turn the stern of the boat. So in other words, there cannot be forward canards. There cannot be foils. There cannot be flight controllers. There cannot be anything else except turning the stern of the boat. That's the wordage.
That's strange wordage, because the first thing that popped into my head is that you turn the back of your boat, but the front of it stays going straight, and that's very confusing. I'd like to see an Amocca 60 just smoking downhill. Like how good would that be?
Look, we all know that it's coming. We know that it's coming. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep this race and other races of this nature accessible to the general public. I mean, if you start, and I get it. I totally understand it. And my argument for the double-handed, other than the fact that I'm heavily vested in double-handed sailing, my argument for is that an autopilot, all of us know that an autopilot, even off-the-shelf autopilot, which was my wording and my suggestion, is not capable of steering the boat at any more, realistically speaking, than 85% of its polars, because it's reactive. It's not proactive on the wave. It's not proactive to wind gusts. It's not proactive. And that's the fact, right? And now people can enter this race and they can autopilot the whole way down there and sleep the whole way. Good on them. Well, they're not going to win, right?
No.
They're not the people that are going to have an opportunity to win. Where
I'm
it gets Don,
I'm out then.
Yes, on you. Yeah, well, that's right. But where this whole autopilot thing, and where I really pushed my point was, you have to hand steer pretty well 95% of a race to be anywhere near the polars to win that race, and that to win any race, you've got to be pretty well in the vicinity of 95% of the polars, and we know that for years of studying races. I mean, 95 to 97% will win you a Hobart if you can do it. Yep. So that's the key. You've got to steer the boat 95% of the time and utilise your autopilots. Now, the other thing that got overlooked the entire time of this whole thing, the hoo-ha of an autopilot being an advantage to boats because you've got an extra person on the boat, blah blah blah. It was so frustrating, infuriating. But what people were misunderstanding was that when you're double-handed sailing, especially in a race like this, you're single-handed sailing. You need to look after yourself. You need to change sails. You need to navigate. You need to make a cup of tea. You need to go and look, do personal things. You need to be able to do that, and that is done by your autopilot. And the second one is, the most important one is, if there is an incident on the boat and your crew partner is incapacitated and or unable to perform his or her duties, you need that autopilot to be able to help you through. Now, that is not just a standard autopilot, which the wordage, this is where I get a bit detailed, the wordage in the original rule was said you can use an autopilot or cannot use an autopilot. There's lots of different definition of autopilot. The auto helm, the old Raymarine, stick it on your tiller and push 10 and push 1, and that's not an autopilot. It has to be able to, and this is why I said, and I stated very, very vehemently, it has to be able to read wind angles, and it has to be able, and a H5000 B&G or a NKE, whatever they Mark III, whatever they are, that's how they roll, and that should be allowed, and that's why I said, in brackets, off the shelf autopilots adjusted, and then they made the decision, and it's gone for us. It's allowing double-handed sailing entrance this year in the Sydney to Hobart. So I invite all international sailors to come and give this a crack. Yeah.
So you can win overall. So rumour is that Rolex are ecstatic.
Oh, absolutely. Less watches.
Yeah, less watches.
But what we have to remember is not all. It's only one watch per boat anyway, so it doesn't matter. They don't.
I know. I was only stirring. I was trying to encourage people. No, it's good. It's good. I just cannot wait for the day a double-hander wins the line on it. So it's the one that's going to rock my world. Can't wait to.
I'll give it a crack this year.
All right, I reckon a downwinder, 90 knot downwinder, mate. That thing of yours will smoke down there.
90 knot, no chance. I'm not going in that. I've been there, done that. Not going in that sort of breeze.
Cool. What else? Anything else? Is that it? Are we all done?
I think we're done, gents.
We're done. Yeah.
Okay. I know it's going on. Just go and look at the website if you want to see results. It's not up to us just to...
Yeah, good luck. If you can find it and work it all out, send us the results.
It's bloody hard, isn't it?
Bloody get on Flotilla, you blokes. For crying out loud.
I reckon so. Flotilla.com, PH.
All right.
I've got to speak to you, Anson.
All right. Well, that's it. That's the show for the week. So good work. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I hope
good fun. Good laugh.
Yeah. Good luck to all the competitors in the Worrell. Good luck to everyone at Charleston, and good luck to everyone going in the Transatlantic Cup Martinique. So,
Cap Martinique.
What do you call it? Cap Martinique.
Cap Martinique. Yeah.
So good one.
Fun. Keep an eye on it all.
Fun.
All right. Happy birthday, Flick.
See you guys.
See ya.
Take me where